This is the Riot Podcast, and here's what we have for you. Graceful Closure,
Yay!
ladies and gentlemen.
They will be
Rwandan
in
coffee.
They'll be in this podcast, Graceful Closure, in studio with us.
Yes, there's that. Also, you'll get a chance to hear about when it's about the coffee and when it's not about the coffee. Fitbits, over-the-air TV, peanut butter donuts. Nikki's watching farm shows now.
There's something about that.
It's all in there. So you guys enjoy this podcast. If my voice sounds a little scratchy, it is.
It is. I feel like, again, probably most people just listening won't catch
notice.
it, but like in studio and stuff, it just seems a little hoarse today.
Oh, Nikki wants a little horse. See, there it is again.
You can just make that happen. So don't forget to also check us out at Radio U Riot on Facebook and YouTube. Let's see, on Facebook, if you enjoyed listening to Graceful Closure here in a few minutes when they join us, you can actually watch us as we include that on Facebook Live.
So you guys enjoy all of that and the podcast and this and such as. It is the Riot.
Imagine a world where the Riot never talks and it's glorious Radio U music for hours on end. Now, imagine the opposite of that. You're already there. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
You know, sometimes you do something and you get it right. Sometimes you do something and you get it wrong. And when you get it wrong, you can give up.
Or
You can keep on trying. And you know, the people at McDonald's have a lot of leftovers from the last time they tried.
what are some of their most tried items? I'm trying to think. Remember the chicken wings?
Well,
They really tried with that one.
they tried hard.
They did, and I think they had like two versions of it because we swore it was like, well, they must have had some left in the freezer.
Right.
So it's like a couple years later, more chicken.
Well, they say, and I don't think McDonald's has confirmed this, but the argument is that when like rib meat hits a certain level, then like the price of it, that the McRib sandwich comes back.
Yeah.
That it is literally about cost, and it has nothing to do with promotional
Opportunities,
et cetera.
that sort of thing.
So it looks like McDonald's is bringing back the chicken. I call them fingers. They call them tenders.
The chicken tenders? So those are not the wings, though.
No, they're not. Maybe they just have a bunch of dead chickens frozen somewhere, and they're like,
Well,
well,
I think that is what most fast food restaurants can lay claim to.
we took their fingers this time. So what
And we're
they've-
coming for your wings next.
Oh, that's right. So they are.
It's just a chicken strip.
Well, it is, but Nikki, it's a buttermilk.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
It's a buttermilk crispy chicken tender.
Because that's what they call their chicken sandwich.
Buttermilk.
They do.
That's what they name their chickens. Now, it doesn't actually contain buttermilk, but all of their chickens are named buttermilk.
Yes.
Which is why they call them a buttermilk
You
chicken
have
tender.
to really be very careful with the fine print.
It's a lot of legalities involved.
But they're correct in saying the chicken was buttermilk.
So February 2015 was when they tried it and then gave up. And they say, you know what? Screw it. We're bringing
them
it back
before they expire from the freezer.
Yeah. So it's not, I don't think that it's nationwide yet, but it looks like it might be. They're definitely in Birmingham right now. You know what? There's all these people tweeting about how good they are. That's got to be paid placement.
It's just chicken, though. How bad can it be?
I had their chicken tenders, and it was just one of those things where I was like, you know what? By having a chicken tender, this is a nonverbal acknowledgement of the fact that your chicken McNugget is less than chicken.
Oh, so like this is supposed to be the premium item when it's just a chicken strip?
They're like, hey, 10 chicken McNuggets for $2, but 3 chicken tenders for $5. Now, what are you telling me about the quality of those McNuggets?
It's all the same.
Because I will tell you,
one
the boot is not happy about this.
Now, remember, one is a buttermilk chicken tender.
That's true.
So there's the extra cost on that.
Like no buttermilk found in those McNuggets.
Remember their cheese sticks? Are those still around?
I think they still do that.
The first time we got a cheese stick, it was some town like miles away from where we live, and we stopped by, and my first cheese stick didn't have any cheese in it. It was just a stick.
Well, no, Nikki, they were still working out the finer points of the system.
It's not quite perfect yet, but yeah, that was a long time ago.
Some of the finer points, you know. So chicken tenders, like they may be coming to a McDonald's near you. We'll see if you're good.
Well, it's like your parents.
Hey, McDonald's raised us, Nikki.
Okay, that way McDonald's doesn't turn the car around.
The Riot
Apparently, some of the less athletic types go nuts for this stuff.
Radio U.
I've got some great news, everybody. The greatest film of all time is being re-released in theaters to celebrate its 35th anniversary.
May we guess which movie that might be?
Yeah, I'm taking guesses.
I'm going to say, what is it? Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan.
Let's go to the judges.
Is that it?
And it looks like, yes, that is the greatest film of all time.
Now, it might not be on everybody's list, but it's a sleeper hit.
Well, the thing you have to remember is a lot of people walking around, people that you see every day at work, at school, they're wrong. And so I know it's hard for you to comprehend that, but there are a lot of wrong people out there. And luckily for you this morning, you're tuned into the only place that tells the truth.
What I like is, for most, it'd be like, Star Trek 2. And wouldn't that be like with Chris Pine? Like, haven't they made?
It would be. But Star Trek Into Darkness, but they'd be wrong again.
That's not the Star Trek 2 we're talking about. There's an old one, a very, very old
1982.
one. And that's the one that Obi has a fondness for.
That's the movie that my dad wouldn't let me watch it anymore when I was little because I watched it too much. And you're like, well, why didn't you watch the other Star Treks? Because they're not as good.
Just something about the other one.
For whatever reason, when I was a kid, Star Trek 2 was the stuff.
So haven't you already seen it in theaters, though?
Last summer, for Father's Day, I took my dad to see Star Trek 2 in the theater. And boy, did we have fun.
Was anybody else in the theater?
There were a couple people.
A
couple other people that understand the importance
of the movie.
That's right.
So are you going to go see it again in the theater, or you feel like you're still okay?
I think I'm going.
Oh, gosh.
It's awesome. I love it. I love that movie so much. And so on Sunday, September 10th, and Wednesday, September 13th, Fathom Events, which they're the people that put things like operas in movie theaters, so you can go see them. See, Nikki, they understand.
Oh, the quality and the
classics. The importance of making the classics available to the people. Yuck. They understand it.
They do.
They get it.
Apparently.
They get it.
So you're going to go see it in theaters again, which it's probably neat seeing something that, it was never in theaters when we were alive. So it'd be interesting to see something that you've only seen one way and then actually putting it in a theater.
I will tell you, I love doing this. I love going to see old movies at movie theaters because even if you got a big TV, like I have a 60-inch TV in my basement. I realize these days it's pretty average, but like comparatively, that's a pretty big TV, right? So even that doesn't come close to comparing to seeing it on a movie screen. The amount of detail in the image that you see, like the no smoking signs they have on the bridge, and the way, like, I love this. These doors are like props that they swap out for all these different scenes. You can see the air bubbles where they didn't quite get it pressed on the door enough. So it does.
See, there you go. That's why you want to go.
It's that kind of crap that someone like me loves.
Oh, yeah. That's why you need to go again.
I probably will. September 10th and September 13th. And Nikki, that's only 1 week before someone's birthday. Can I see some hands?
Anybody's birthday?
Oh.
Go see Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan.
This guy right here.
In the theaters again.
Like for the very first time. Again for the first time.
Have a good time.
Why don't you come with me, Nikki?
Actually, that'd be an amazing Riot skips work video. If it's during the day, I'll see it. If it's during work hours.
Oh, my gosh.
And I can get popcorn.
If it's during work hours and someone buys me popcorn
then
and pays for my ticket.
And I can bring a blanket in case I fall asleep. I will totally go.
Oh, Nikki.
I'm going to love it. I can't wait.
Sometimes the burden of being in this room is more than I can bear.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure this is it.
Leftovers from the most disgusting meal you've ever had. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I want to say a hearty good morning and what's up to Erin. She just tweeted at us, Nikki. Did you see it?
I did not.
Did she tweet? Yeah, she tweeted at both of us.
I've been hearing my phone buzz, so I will take a look.
Oh, Erin.
What did she send?
She tweeted a little something to us from Krispy Kreme. It appears the Krispy Kreme right now has a limited time donut. You know what that means?
Well, hello.
Can't
I think you're going to
forever.
love this one.
Can't have it forever.
Just enough to get you addicted and then take it away.
Oh, sweet mercy.
Do you want to talk about what flavor it is?
It's the Reese's peanut butter donut.
And I see an R. That's a registered trademark right there.
That is not a, we call it Reese's.
No, it's Reese's. That's the right
real.
one.
The R is real. It says, let me just read it to you. I don't want to embellish it. Let's hear what they say about it. The Reese's peanut butter donut is filled with Reese's peanut butter cream. Oh, with a capital K. Dipped in milk chocolate icing.
Because it goes with Krispy Kreme.
Topped with a Reese's peanut butter chip and chopped peanut blend and finished with a drizzle of chocolate and peanut butter.
It's impressive.
That hits you where you live.
Because you don't understand. Obi lives in a house made out of peanut butter.
Oh, my gosh.
If it's like this reminds me when we went to the fair, we had deep fried Buckeye balls, which are like chocolate covered peanut butter balls that are then deep fried. This could, with the flavor,
fill a gap
and the taste.
In my heart.
Yeah, because we don't have like a deep fryer to make the other stuff all the time.
You know, the thing that's been hard about all of this food cleanse, whatever, is like I don't even eat peanut butter anymore. Doesn't mean I can't have it. I just need to try it, and I haven't reintroduced it to my diet. Except when we went to the fair and I had those deep fried Buckeyes, and I seriously...
That was a way to introduce it back in, wasn't it?
Gosh. My brain was like, it's back, it's back, it's back. The peanut butter's back. Oh my gosh.
We don't even care about soda anymore. Just give me peanut butter.
Give me more peanut butter. Bring the peanut butter back. Peanut butter. I love the peanut butter.
He always loves peanut butter.
I do love it. Almond butter is it's a pretty good stand-in. It's a little dry.
Yes, it is.
It's a little dry compared to the hydrogenated fats that Jeff adds to their peanut butter to keep it creamy.
If you get the almond butter that always has the inch full of the oil spill on top of it,
you got to mix it up.
And then it's not too bad.
Nikki, when you open the jar, you got to put in the hard work of doing a lot of mixing at first.
A lot of prep.
Or what you end up with is a lot of creamy almond at the top and then
the dry
paste at the bottom.
Well, it's practically the same. So Krispy Kreme will be offering the Reese's donuts.
Yes, it says participating U.S. locations limited time. Now, I don't know how limited it is.
We all have limited time.
We all, you know what? Don't we all? We're all on this earth for a short amount of time.
Correct.
And there's only so many donuts you can eat.
So how long do we get these things for?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that, but I'll tell you what. Something inside me's got a yearning. A yearning for a peanut butter donut.
The Riot sees gas station hot dogs as part of a balanced breakfast.
Is that bad?
Well, not good.
It's The Riot on Radio U.
The following is the tale of Dan Cisco. Dan Cisco in 2014 wanted to watch the Super Bowl, but he didn't have cable.
Well, what to do?
Well, he realized that he was completely out of luck and he couldn't watch the Super Bowl. And then someone told him about this brand new piece of technology that blew his mind. Nikki, did you know that with an antenna, you can watch TV for free?
I saw that article how they're saying some people don't realize you can get it's what we call over-the-air TV.
Local channels.
You can get your local channels with an antenna.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to just put your antenna in a high place.
He says he paid $20 for an antenna and was able to watch the Super Bowl. And let me give you his quote. I was just kind of surprised that this is technology that exists. It's been awesome.
But I think that's what came first, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Maybe because it's so old technology-wise.
Well, people have just forgotten about it.
And I mean, the hard part is with over-the-air stuff, you have to have, for us, in-demand or a DVR is the bigger part of your life. I don't watch really any live TV. So over-the-air, when we first cut cable a long time ago, we had an antenna as well, but it's just harder to find a inexpensive way to use a DVR unless you build one or you're buying the guide. You're doing all this stuff because there's still limitations on how to use the over-the-air stuff in a DVR setting.
Well, I got two things to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
One is that 29% of Americans, they say, don't know
that over-the-air exists.
Over-the-air TV is free. Two, you were talking about the DVR. Not today, but coming up the next couple of days in riot control, it'll probably, we'll get to that. But I recently got to test the HD home run oh, shoot. I can't remember the exact model number it is, but again, we'll talk about it later. But it does, this blows my mind. You hook an antenna into it, and it delivers TV over your network in your house.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't actually have to build. Like, back in the day, I built my own DVR, like a home theater PC. This thing, you could fire it up on your laptop, your iPad, your whatever, and it will actually DVR, like, on your iPad. You don't have, or not your iPad, but, like, your laptop. You don't have to have anything hooked up to it, and you could still, over your wireless network, turn your laptop or whatever
and just
into
watch
a
wherever
DVR.
you're at.
It's crazy.
But you still have to be on the network.
Yeah, you still have to be
on
like,
your network,
on
in your house.
network, yeah. But
it still works good.
Dude, it's an impressive little piece of tech, but we'll get there.
But in case you never knew, you're like, wait a minute. Now, for like OB's sake, like for college football, problem is,
well,
everything is not aired over air.
It's not.
You might still find it sent to a few channels that you can't get.
So, I guess when I read this, I just wanted to let everybody know you can get free TV. Apparently, a full 1/3 of you don't know.
No, don't realize
that you could grab an antenna, plug it into the back of your TV, and get you can get ABC, NBC, CBS, and of course it depends on where you live.
Yes,
but like
how far away you are.
I mean, honestly, Wait
till you see how many PBS channels there are.
I probably have, counting the sub channels, I don't have cable, and I probably have 25, 30 channels at home, which is crazy. Now, I'm going to tell you that
the quality
can
is
be middling.
Different. It's not the same. Like, there's a couple movie channels where you're like, what's this, a movie?
Right. But
we're not saying you're going to watch a lot of it, but it's there.
But the other side of that is, like, when it comes to the big networks like ABC, CBS, whatever, those will actually look better than they do through cable. So, hey, antenna. Who knew? Wireless TV.
The Riot talks about wanting a day off, but when do we get a day off from them?
Whoa! You suck at this!
It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Did you ever do Fitbit?
Fitbit, no, I have an Apple Watch.
Well, I know, but like you had a
Fitbits,
couple of different fitness watches.
I had a Nike Band.
Okay.
And then an Apple Watch, but that's it.
Okay,
Fitbit
that is it.
always looks really nice, though, and I love that you can change the bands, and I always see the bands on sale, but I don't use one.
Oh, well.
But they're very popular.
They are popular. It's never been my thing. I don't want to know how much I'm doing or not doing.
And you don't want to wear it like right there for you to be able to tell all the time.
The one thing that I have been curious about is that I don't know if they do anymore, but for a while they claimed that they could track your sleep. But then there are lawsuits pending against them saying, no, they can't track your sleep and this is false advertising. And again, I haven't looked deep into that, so I wouldn't go running and taking... I wouldn't take everything I just said, serious grain of salt on that one. But that I remember there being some things about that, which kind of caught my interest. But this here is an interesting study. They gave a group of 13 and 14-year-olds some Fitbits. And the idea was they thought, like, okay, if we give these early teens these Fitbits, they're going to start seeing exercise as fun because they're going to be able to track it, and it's going to be a game, and they're going to compete, and it's going to be awesome.
I don't know about that.
So they actually thought, like, that friendly competition between peers would turn into a great thing. Guess what they found out?
It was opposite. It was wrong.
They say that by adding these layers of competition, that these individuals felt guilty, they felt negative, and they found exercise less enjoyable than their peers that did not have a Fitbit, and they started exercising less.
Because of the pressure.
Because of the pressure to actually go and do it.
I can see that because then, they always say it can bring about an unhealthy relationship, like how people can have it with food, but then you can also have it with exercise, whether it's you're doing too much or the other side of it where you're not doing any at all because you feel so guilty that you don't even start something.
I will tell you, one of the best things I ever read about exercise was, I should have saved it so I could give it to people. But it was a lady that said that, she had tried to exercise so many different times. She always felt guilty and she hated it. And so she had a friend that said, I'll train you. And so her friend took her to the gym, and like put her on an exercise bike for 20 minutes and then made her go home. And she was like, no, we have to do more. She's like, no, just leave. You're
just
going home.
You're done.
And so she basically turned it into this thing where we always think of exercise as a negative. I've got
like 7 days a week.
Right.
Or 6 with one rest day, but you got to like kill it the other days.
So her trainer introduced her to this idea that, listen, you have to exercise for, it might even have been 15 minutes a day. You have to do. Everything else is bonus. Mm-hmm. It's all bonus. So whatever you do beyond getting about 15 minutes, it's all bonus. And she said that when all of the sudden going to the gym was a bonus and an extra, she went all the time because it turned it into mentally this very positive experience. And I think there's really something to that. If you take it from something you have to do and you're punishing yourself to like, no, this is bonus. This is all bonus. Very different feeling.
The Riot spent their entire advertising and promotion budget on catering and craft services.
The junk that guy eats has finally caught up with me.
So please tell your friends. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Guys, I feel like we need to have a timeout so that we can educate our friend Nikki about some things in the world.
Well, let me hear what we need to educate about.
I'm out of coffee, as we even mentioned on this very show yesterday. And so as a result, I'm brewing
You're out of coffee at home.
Yeah.
So you're doing your work coffee.
Exactly what she just said, guys. And so I came in and brewed some coffee this morning with whatever we have in there. I don't know what it is, but it tastes terrible.
Which it normally does not.
No, it's I drank it yesterday and I wasn't like, boy, Nikki, this coffee is terrible.
So something's wrong with the pot today.
I don't know what I did wrong. Like maybe I just need to put some more creamer in it or something like that. The only thing, I will say I use very little creamer now and no sugar.
So you may be tasting it a little bit more.
I've become very sensitive to the actual taste of the coffee. So it could be that there's a pea under the bed and the princess just can't sleep. That's how it is. That might be what it is.
It could be.
It could be that. But, or I feel like maybe I messed it up. I don't know how, but I feel like I messed it up.
So here's what I told Obi. I said, stop drinking it. Because every time you take a sip, every time, you're like, this is terrible. Mm-hmm. This is horrible. What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
It sounds miserable over there. Stop drinking it.
Okay. This is the point of education, guys, because Nikki, misery, if you're not aware, is a sliding scale.
Yeah.
Okay. And so on this sliding scale, there's no coffee, which is the most miserable. Okay. Then there's not having very good coffee,
which is not as bad.
Which is not as bad as no coffee.
Well, then instead of no coffee, add more creamer, or why don't you just make a new pot?
Well, that seems wasteful. So we
just can't stand it, though. I can't hear how bad this coffee is anymore.
Oh, you know what? Now who's the princess and the pea? Okay,
not me.
Now who
not
is
me?
it?
Because I've given
you can't stand it.
I'm giving you ways to fix the problem. I'm a problem solver, and I don't like to see you stuck in the hole of your problem.
All right, I want you to know right now.
Yeah.
What you're experiencing right now is what it's like to be a guy in a relationship with a girl.
Whatever.
You just experienced it. Because you say, I've given you all these options to fix these things.
Did it go to that?
I'm a problem solver. And so you just experienced it. Man, Nikki, you learned more than you thought you were going to 2 minutes and 37 seconds ago.
I want you to have a good cup of coffee. Go remake it.
But Nikki, I want to talk about my feelings.
That's all I've heard.
I know. And
I just want the coffee to be okay for you.
Oh, man. I'm telling you right now, are you listening, everybody? There's so many lessons to learn here. There's so many lessons to learn. Nikki's she's more concerned about the coffee than me and my feelings. You guys understand that?
I've heard your feelings, but I'm making a way for your feelings to change.
You're minimizing my feelings and increase. You know what? I'm glad we did this because I feel like a lot of people have learned something today.
Whatever. What, that mom and dad fight?
No. I feel like this has just been educational in a lot of ways, and I feel like I'm going to go get a little more creamer.
I'm good. Yes, let's do that first.
Okay.
And then if not, take the pot and dump it out.
Don't tell me what to do.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, fine. That's fine.
Well, you don't tell me what to do by not telling you what to do.
Okay.
It's the worst of the riot, because calling it the best of the riot would be a lie. Radio U.
So, Nikki, dollhouses. Did you have one?
I had, I think, a Barbie house,
Okay.
and that was maybe it. I was really into stuffed animals.
Okay,
Not so
so
much
not so much dolls.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I love stuffed animals.
Dude, was it last Christmas? Where was I? Might have been Costco, might have been Toys R Us, because I love toys. And they had a Barbie dream house that was like 6 feet tall.
It's like better than where you're living.
It was, when I saw it,
Like, why can't my house have those amenities?
I wanted to buy it just because it was that crazy. It was just like, have you seen this? It's insane. It was huge, 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 huge. But even at that great height that it had achieved, it was only what, $350, $400? Here's a lady that's got $1,000 dollhouse.
Is she built, or is she?
Where'd
it come from?
It looks custom built, but I'm not entirely sure because, okay, when I say that here's this lady with this custom dollhouse that she has, I should also mention that this photo of her is a photo of her stealing it.
Oh, she took it?
So, all right, like, okay,
Well,
full disclosure.
There's the details, right?
Full disclosure.
I love the video of it.
This is in Kingsport, Tennessee. Here's what I love. She's stealing it, and they have video of her trying to fit it in the car.
They point out it's a very large dollhouse.
It's too big. This dollhouse is too big to fit in the backseat of her car.
She's given up.
So she tries to put it in the trunk, which, you know what? Kudos to her for having a spare tire in the trunk. And that's not a euphemism. She actually has a spare tire in the trunk of her car. So she wasn't able to fit it in either one.
Drives away eventually and just leaves it on the side of the road. Where did she steal it from? Or was this...
Okay, apparently there was a storage facility of some kind that was unlocked.
She went in.
It sounds like she was going around the storage units, seeing which ones were unlocked and going into the unlocked ones and taking things.
This day and age, it surprises me that this lady does not think there's a camera there. Like,
Right.
doesn't she realize, especially at a storage facility, there's going to be cameras around? It's right there. Get her driver's license and everything, or her license plate.
I mean, I get it. You get this thing, you put it on eBay or Craigslist. It's worth $1,000. You fence it for $500. You feel really good about yourself. But is there a market for $500 dollhouses on Craigslist?
Apparently, maybe.
Is this what we should be stealing? Because, Nikki, I've walked past several storage facilities. I guess we just need to hit the jackpot and have one open up.
You need to look. Is this in Canada, or where was this?
No, it's in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Just out of curiosity, what made you think it was Canada?
At Kingsport, for some reason. I think that's in Canada as well.
You know what? I'm sure that's a name that's generic enough that our Canadian cousins
Could
probably
have this very
do
problem
have.
there as well.
They've probably got a Kingsport and a Queensport. Yeah, dude, dollhouses for $1,000. Wow. I'm in the wrong business.
You just need to have a bigger car, though, if you want to start stealing them.
Well, you really should look at a crossover vehicle or maybe an SUV.
Ever wonder what Nikki is doing when she isn't rioting? Find her Twitter feed at riot.radiou.com. Obadiah's is there too, but who cares what he's doing?
You know, Nikki and I were just talking off air about something that I feel like is worth talking about on air. And that is this. I think all of us think that we're an exception to the rule.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, think about this. Like, we were actually talking about drugs and alcohol, and just how many people that we have encountered that are using or have a problem with one or the other or both or whatever. Like, no one starts out with their first drink or their first dose or their first whatever thinking like, hey, you know, I'm obviously going to be the guy that gets strung out, messed up, whatever. Nobody starts there. Like, everybody starts just wanting to feel a little better or have a good time or whatever. But some of us end up in some really deep holes. And what I found is, too, a lot of times I've run into people that think like you get to a certain age and it's like, oh, you know what? I'm out of college now, so I don't have to worry about this. That would have been a problem in college, but now I can manage and it's fine.
And now we're hearing all these stories about people that are older that you would think would be like, what, in the clear?
You think they're too old to have that problem.
But it just seems to be anyone at any age.
Dude, so here's what I want to say to you. One, remember, you never have to quit something if you don't start it. So if you haven't started, don't start. I mean, it's, what is it, like cliche 80s, whatever, but like say no. And I realize our culture is more and more like, hey, you know what? This stuff's not a big deal. Why are you so concerned about it?
I always hate it, but it's like better safe than sorry. It's like I would rather not fall down that hole.
There's something to be said for saying, you know what? There's a chance I could fall down that hole, so I don't even want to stand next to the hole. I don't even want to dip my toe in it. I'm just going to stay completely away from it because I don't want to end up down in that hole. You know what? If you're somebody that's stuck, though, I want you to know a couple things. One, you're not alone. There's a lot of people that are stuck. I guarantee you, whether there are people in your life right now that can help you or you need to reach out and get help, I know there's help available to you. So if you got an issue, I mean, the funny thing is it doesn't have to just be substances. You know, we say drugs, alcohol, but there's a lot of stuff that people are stuck in that they need help getting out of. And there's community service. There are places that you can go and get help, or you can start by reaching out to friends and family. And then I'm going to lay one more thing on this. Whether you're stuck or you haven't even started, every single one of us needs Jesus. Every single one of us needs some help. And I want you to know that, again, whether you started or you can't stop, God wants to help you where you are. One, get you out of a hole. Two, maybe keep you from falling in some holes that you don't even know about yet. Jesus wants to be there for you. He's been there for me. I have fallen in holes that he has gotten me out of. I know Jesus. I have still fallen in holes, sometimes jumped in headfirst on purpose, and God has still pulled me out of those places. God can help you. So you're not alone. The Riot is here talking to you. God loves you, and there are people that want to help you. So let's start with the God thing, and then you're going to have to reach out. Just say, Jesus, I need you right now. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I need some help. Just help me. And you can talk to God about whatever's going on. And I really, really want you today, if you need to start with a friend, someone that you can trust about what's going on. Because here's what Nikki and I don't want. We don't want to read about you in the news. And that's kind of a joke, but not really.
Nikki and Obadiah. Obadiah and Nikki.
Love, hate, hate, love.
All right, everyone in, let's go!
It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Joining us in the studio this morning, Graceful Closure.
What's up? Howdy.
How's it going, guys?
Good, man. How are you?
I feel great. I feel great about what this right here that you brought some cold brew in here this morning.
This is true.
I'm excited about it. Now let's talk about because you're a coffee guy, Jared. I want you to break down.
Coffee guy.
Is that not true?
No, I mean it is. It's
okay.
funny.
What is that too on the nose? You are an artist. You're an individual. You're a person
Creative.
who also happens to enjoy coffee
and love
and what it brings to the table.
And you do a really good job creating the coffee as well. So you brought in a cold brew this morning?
Yep.
And you use the toddy system?
Yeah.
If you want to hold it up, then Facebook will be able to see what...
Well, so like this isn't the system, but this is the jar the system
toddy
comes
jar,
with.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's Rwanda. And it took like 16 hours, and it's super yummy.
It takes a long time to make a good cold brew. I was surprised you used the toddy, and the reason I say that is this. I have one of those.
Yeah.
Nikki gave it to me. That is how I make my cold brew, so it seems like you broke into my house and stole that, which I'm not saying you did.
No one's saying anything about that.
I didn't say that.
It's just you happen to be using the same one.
Right. And I have another friend of mine who is actually opening a coffee shop tomorrow, and he was like, "Oh, you're using a toddy for that?
Why?
No."
What's with the toddy?
He used like the Japanese one where it's like swirly. I can't remember the name.
Oh, the one that kind of sucks it out then?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know, but he wanted to sell me at a discount a different cold brew system.
Dude, almost every coffee shop uses the toddy system. They just use a very big
version of it.
It's like a 5-gallon bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But like in town, like Fox in the Snow, they use toddy. Like all kinds of like great coffee shops in Columbus or other cities use.
This is interesting. It's got a kind of fruity
bro.
Hint to it.
For real.
So this is it one you just made specifically last night for OB when he said bring in a cold brew? Because this must have been already sitting there and waiting.
This is my private stash.
Is this your private stash one?
Why couldn't we bring in donuts?
I know. I'm actually a little upset about that because I wanted a donut.
Well, nobody said you can't.
Yes, huh? The Riot Facebook page said don't
bring donuts.
He finished a cleanse where you reintroduce food back in to like find out if you're allergic to something or if something's bothering you. And as he's reintroducing things back in, donuts just don't make the cut for a while.
It's
one day at a time.
I thought that was the first thing.
Yeah, it's like no, you don't jump right back into the pool of donuts.
Well, we did jump in on. We were to the fair on Tuesday. My body's still recovering from the fair trip.
Oh, man.
So you needed a break.
I did. But, dude, you'll be proud of me. As a result of this, like, I'm basically drinking black coffee these days. Now, I'll drink, like, a little bit of... Sometimes I'll put...
to anything?
Okay, you really want to know? How about garbanzo beans?
That's
a chickpea.
What in the world is a
chickpeas wrecked him.
A chickpea, dude.
Wrecked him totally.
Okay? Like, the chickpea, dude, I got...
like hummus.
Those are weird anyways.
Hey, so, I feel that, but it was on the list of things to slowly reintroduce, right? I make chili with those. Was it ever
introduced in the first place?
Yeah, I make chili with them. And chili always, I'm like, I guess I feel okay. But
why don't you tell them what your body does really well with?
Oh, pizza. And I know
he's not kidding.
I know
it really
sounds
does.
made up, but one night I was like,
that sounds wonderful.
We're supposed to test whatever. Let's just order a pizza. And my body was like, yes, bro.
Yes. Your body said no to the chickpea, but to the pizza, it's like, absolutely, we're doing that.
My body just chewed right through that pizza. I woke up with a glow. Quite frankly, like,
and it's not just from the grease. Like that really did well. So.
Yeah, no, I did great with that.
Where was the pizza from?
A place called Mama Linda's Pizza.
That just sounds good.
I almost want to ask them like their ingredients because it's like, all right, look, I feel great when I eat your pizza.
Have you been to the Giordano's Pizza that just opened up
down the road? Yes, we have.
Nikki went without me.
Well, we don't have to do everything together.
Well, let's go again.
Okay. We'll have a Riot Graceful Closure road trip where we go to eat pizza.
Have you guys gone yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
What was funny is we actually went to the location in Chicago.
The day before. The day before the Columbus one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And the guy's like, we literally are opening one tomorrow. Like, at your home. I was like, well, shoot. So we went like as soon as we got back.
So you had a lot of pizza.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're doing good. According to OB's
my body
never had it before. Though. I had never had it before. So like when I was in, but it was better in Chicago.
Yeah,
it was thicker.
It's a location.
It's thicker. Yeah. So like when it wasn't as thick, I was like, you guys are like trying to treat us like Columbus people and stop it. Treat us like Chicago people.
I went when they were testing and it wasn't quite like they were learning and you could tell. Like they needed to just bring all the Chicago workers to all the different locations and then everybody could just make it for a while and teach.
It was like after a show one night when we had it for the first time and I just kept talking about it for like an hour after and I pretty much dreamed about it. I was like, this pizza is so good. I woke up with a glow.
Well, when we went, I had a friend of mine, what did we order, like one medium, like just a little pizza, and he was like, "This is enough,
small, bro."
And I was like, "This is
a small."
I was like, "This is not enough."
You like have one piece. You're like, "Well, I'm full now."
I did. I ate one piece.
That's how it was.
I'm so stuffed right now.
I forced myself into the second piece.
We were like starving after the show. He's like, "Bro, just go in there and get a large, and we'll just do that." So like,
nope.
I go to the front. It's like right about to close, and like I noticed like the large is like $50, and I was like,
"It's like what is this?"
I was like, "Uh oh."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Is it just two guys?" I was like, "Yeah, but we're really hungry." He goes, "Oh, you're gonna want a small."
It's small, still a small.
No, I don't.
Stop that. That is not true.
That is the joy and the oddness when it comes to a deep dish Chicago style pizza.
It's good though.
Don't want to talk to the Riot? We completely understand. Text instead. 877-2-RADIO-U.
Still in the studio with Graceful Closure, fellows.
What's up, man?
Hello.
Don't hear me.
Oh, nothing. That's it.
You should be good.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
so
I bet you Zach turned
there.
we
Oh yeah,
go.
Zach turned your headphones down.
my headphones down. Jeez, bro.
You just need to be grateful for
Someone
what you
did.
have. Some people don't get headphones.
Oh
Jeez,
yeah.
You know,
you
we
don't have to use headphones in the studio like we do, but
Makes
you
me
guys
feel
don't
cooler,
have
though.
to.
we could have Zach bring you headphones. Would you have felt better about that?
It's okay.
All right, it's fine. So, Chase, did you have something you wanted to say about donuts?
So-
I made you wait.
Get right on in there.
I've been waiting to talk about this. So I just had duck donuts for the very first time the other day.
Yes. Now, duck donuts, I think, were they mostly on the East Coast?
I believe so.
There
But
are other places now.
Like they're made to order donuts, right?
Yeah, you go in and you can't just like
I didn't
take
know
a
that.
dozen. It takes for a while.
I did the dozen thing, and the girl just kind of like looked at me and questioned me. I've never heard of the place. And so she was like, well, what do you want on your donuts? Like, how do you want the donuts? I'm like, what are you
wait a
talking
minute.
about? So then I realized it's like a Chipotle for donuts.
Yeah.
And so like I just see the paper. I was like, whatever the top 6 best sellers, I'll take 2 of each.
Yeah, that's a great
And
idea.
then,
Was it like $40 for a dozen? I know it's
no,
not.
dude, it's like $12.
That was it? That's not so bad.
Nah, yeah, don't hate. And so,
You just offended him.
Okay, can we?
I'm not going to drop $40 on a dozen donuts.
Okay,
First off, that seemed a bit personal.
Yeah, like,
A little personal.
That right there is what they call ad hominem. That's where you move from the subject to the person. Now, I was just asking how much they cost.
That was it.
And you call me a hater. This interview is over.
We're done.
Anyways.
No more donuts ever.
We should go to
This
Duck
is
Donuts.
this is where it gets important. They have a bacon donut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had it?
Not theirs, but I have had a bacon donut.
No.
But that's not me hating. I'm just saying
please
that I haven't had
step
it.
back, Obi, okay?
You
Just
need to
step
chill.
back.
Off him.
You just need to chill.
Okay.
No, but the bacon donut, you have
Which is
to
not
get it.
$40, okay?
It's not $40.
It's not.
It's like
Chill,
$1.76 at the max if you just get the one.
So have you not had a bacon donut before, or was this one just so
I've
amazing?
had a bacon donut, but like then usually it's just like a normal donut and they put like one little strip of bacon on top.
Yeah, or bacon bits.
Yeah, this one's just absolutely amazing.
Life changing.
It was life changing.
And that's it.
I woke
Okay,
up.
that's it.
I was glowing. I was a little offended because like we had.
That's the grease again, guys. That's why we glow.
No, I was a little offended because we had like rehearsal like 2 hours after my experience with the donuts, and so I was like, man, I'll be such a nice guy. I'll put 6 in a container and like bring it for everyone to share. And they're all like on the we're all on like on a health kick, but I was like.
Yeah, none of us
Fighting
ate
the
his
day.
donuts.
Yeah, so I ended up eating all of the donuts.
You're like, I'll
Rehearsal.
take care of that. I'll fix that.
I don't know that if someone brought a donut, if I could just say no, I'm not
Sure,
going to
but
eat
you
it.
just don't need them if you can head it off.
Well, Jared had already had a monster that night, so like that's
bring him in.
That's a big part of his health kick, right?
Well, okay, so monsters aren't really good for you, but I did get the 0 one with no calories.
I love how we make it all work. You know, we justify everything.
Hey, bro, we had rehearsal like 3 a.m. I have something.
Why? Okay, why are you guys rehearsing at 3 a.m. like the rest of the
Okay.
daylight?
Dude, Friday's gonna be lit.
Okay.
Literally, we were programming
We
lights.
were in there for 5 hours. Like, we have like a light show synced to everything. We don't. It's like a robot running it.
and
We
we've
don't
like
have a
never
person
ran
running
lights,
our
so we had to
yeah.
figure out how to run lights.
Well, for Radio U Columbus,
Awesome.
Radio U Ohio, Graceful Closure will be performing. It's your first headlining show,
As a
right?
duo, yeah,
That's at
yeah.
the Roomba Cafe, and that is tomorrow. So you can look forward to lights. Don't bring donuts.
You can bring donuts.
Okay, you can bring donuts.
And
Just
0
be very
calorie
sensitive
Red
about
Bull and
it.
Monster.
And that's
And
about
if you have really creative weird socks, bring them because
Bring
everyone's
socks?
going to wear them.
Okay,
Weird socks,
that works
yeah.
too.
Okay.
So that's the list.
Any other Graceful Closure news that you guys want to get out aside from pizza and donut news?
We have more shows
Okay.
outside of Columbus, so definitely check those out. And we are really hoping that Until the Night's Gone is going to have a music video. so
Yay, that'd
stay
be
tuned.
awesome.
Nice.
We're trying.
All right.
Hopefully he won't lose the footage this time.
Again, let's not bring up things that make problems. It's fine.
You know what? Don't hate, bro.
All right.
Try not to. I actually
We're
pretty
just-
much hated him at that, in that
Everybody's
moment.
just
No,
gonna
really,
look
I
it out
hated him.
later.
Oh, well, you know what? It's been cool hanging with you guys. Thanks for coming. Seriously, thanks for sharing your cold brew with us.
You're welcome, dude.
Appreciate it.
Anytime.
Thanks
That's
for
a
sharing
true
the Red
friend.
Bulls
So see you
with us.
tomorrow then? Anytime?
Yeah, if
tomorrow?
you come to the show, bring some.
No, I mean, like, could you bring it here?
Nope.
Like about quarter till
Nope.
6. It'll be right after practice. You can just swing on by.
Hey, dude,
before we start the
when
show.
Uber Eats gets it up to par, I'll have Uber Eats bring you some cold brew.
Okay. I mean,
Now
McDonald's is
Uber
using
Eats
Uber
is
Eats.
like, what did we do, man? Now they're like, what's the problem?
Now, don't hate, okay?
Yes.
Don't.
Don't
All right.
hate.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the Radio U app.
Now, Nikki, I have to ask. Yesterday, did you see the video that was making the rounds of the baby goats that were trying to use the exercise ball?
No, I did not. I missed an animal video.
Yeah, I just sent it to you right now.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
I just want you to know that I see your future right here.
Is this it?
This is it.
Oh, they're so cute.
This is the one. And see, Nikki, if you had an animal farm, that right there, I mean, I'm telling you that if you went ahead and started a farm and then you started like a series of Instagrams or like a YouTube channel or something.
This is how I could make tons of money.
Oh, my gosh.
See, I used to want to be, before I went into radio, I was going to go to school to be a marine biologist.
Yes.
And I love animals of all kinds, but farm animals, maybe the least interested in. So when we started talking a few months ago about what maybe I should do if I'm done with the riot, someone brought up goat farming. You did. And someone did, and
all
that's
ideas
led
are considered.
to now a lot of people assuming or thinking that I really actually will have a goat farm when I'm done here.
Which you could. And you know what? See, that's the other thing. I think we need to stop thinking about that as when you're done here, but as
I could do both.
while you're here.
While I'm here.
Like you start the goat farm. Tell them what you were watching over the weekend.
Oh, no, okay. I watched.
Tell them.
I forget the name of it, but I was I think it was on HGTV, like on their demand service. And sometimes I watch Tiny House Show because it makes me so mad that it's like a family of 20 who think they can fit in a caboose or a shipping container.
Well, 300 square feet is more than enough for 20 people.
It's spacious. We'll just live outside while still having this container. I hate that show, but I watch it because it's just like a train wreck with it. See the caboose part. But I started watching this other show where now these families want to move into a farm. Like they want to buy a farm. So the whole thing is about they want a barn and they want a place for animals. It was fascinating because it's the opposite. They're like, this one house was 2 acres, which, I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a big piece of property.
The guy was practically pouting because it wasn't 50 acres. He wanted more. I thought, whoa, it's a different world than mine.
See,
completely different world.
That's your world.
Yeah, if I moved into that.
Get yourself 50 acres, a barn, a bunch of animals. And see, like right now, you only have a couple of animals. But, Nikki, I'm telling you, you have so much love in your heart. There's so many more animals.
I could have room for more animals.
Absolutely.
This one guy bought a farmhouse. It was somewhere outside of New Jersey or something.
Uh-huh.
The house was going for almost $700,000. So that's a lot. But there was no barn, and he wanted a barn on the property.
I mean, I know how that feels.
Do you want to know how much they bought the house for? When they were touring through and walking through it, it had like a little, like the old houses, it's not level and stuff.
Yeah.
They got it for like $450,000.
But how much property?
I think that one had like 7 acres.
Because, I mean, like, you're not just buying the house, you're buying all that land.
Yeah, but it was going for sale for almost $700,000.
Well,
and they bought it for $400 and something thousand. That's amazing.
All right. Well, the thing is, like on Craigslist, you always mark up 20%.
Well, that was
so
a
maybe
lot.
in farms, it's a 30-40% markup.
No, I usually mark it up like $10 or $20. That's a lot of money to mark down, but that's a completely different life. So I should look at that if I'm going to do this goat thing.
This is how it starts.
Yep,
all right,
you start watching
start watching a reality show about it. Pretty soon you're checking local listings.
And I want a barn. I want to live on a farm.
Pretty soon you're on a dating site for farmers. I mean, it just
is not anything I've ever been a part of, so it's new to me.
Right. Well, you know what, Nikki, you got to explore Glasslands.
And I have all the acres to do that.
You do.
I have like 50 acres now if I live like that.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no, I missed it. Do it again.
You can hear us live every day on the Radio U network through the Radio U app or at riot.radiou.com.
The burden of being in this room is more than I can bear.